Okay, Assalamu alaikum students to SM Public Academy Campus 5, and as you all know I'm your English teacher Mrs. Sabah Arif, and today we will be having an English literature lesson. Okay, so in English literature, as you all know that we are doing Hamlet. So we have done Hamlet in this week and we have completed the death of Polonius, right? And today we will be beginning from the next chapter, that is the king's plan. Okay, so first of all, let's have a quick review of what we have read so far for all of you who were not there in the classes in school, or who were not uh, present when we did the death of Polonius. Let's have a quick review. Claudius suggested that while Gertrude speaks to Hamlet, Polonius must hide behind the curtain to help her. Remember, it was Claudius's suggestion, and Gertrude thought that actually he had come to help her. Okay, Hamlet decided to speak cruelly to her, but not to use his sword. Okay, he decided not to use his sword, and only he will talk rudely to her. Okay, he will only be rude. That's it. When Hamlet tried to stop Gertrude from leaving the room, she was terrified and she cried for help. And who came to help her? Nobody. In fact, what happened? That Polonius also started shouting from behind the curtain, help, help. And Hamlet thought that it was Claudius hiding behind the curtain. And what did Hamlet do? Hamlet pushed his sword through the curtain, and Polonius was killed, and Gertrude was horrified. And then at that point, if you remember, Gertrude told him that you have murdered somebody. You are a very bad man, Hamlet. And at the same time, Hamlet told her that I am a bad man. How can you call me bad when you yourself are a murderer, when you yourself have killed Claudius? How can you call me bad? I mean, look what who's talking. Somebody who has already committed such a big crime. That person is calling me bad. And at that time, she tells him which murder, which killing are you talking about? And then this is now when he will tell her what he is actually talking about. Okay, and do you think she will trust him? Because she loves Claudius so much, will she trust whatever Hamlet is telling her? Let's see. Okay, so let's begin reading on page number 60. Okay, please everybody open up page number 60. Let's start reading from page number 60. The heading is the king's plan. Okay, everyone please, I'm giving you a minute. Hurry up, open your books. Okay, the king's plan. Hamlet was shaking with anger. Mother, you have forgotten my father, who loved you so much. Think of my dear, gentle father and remember how good. So now what is happening, that Hamlet is trying to remind his mother of his dead father, King Hamlet. Okay, good and kind he was. Look here at this picture and compare this face to that of Claudius. How can you still say you love Claudius? What is it that has made you so blind? You are too old to fall madly in love at your age, mother. So, what is happening? That Hamlet is actually now trying to convince his mother emotionally. He is trying to be emotional with his mother that, okay, mom, how could you fall in love with a person at this age? You are so old now. I mean, at your age, people take care of their home, take care of their children. It's not your age to fall in love with somebody and enjoy your life or begin a new life, because you already have a son. And how could you marry a man who was so different from my father? Like, my father was all kind, gentle, nice, and he was a very good king. And at the same time, Claudius is so rude, cunning, wicked. How could you even compare two people like this and marry the another one after the death of another? I mean, why did you do this, mom? Oh, be quiet, Hamlet, cried Gertrude, putting her hands over her ears. He was making her think about things she would rather ignore. And now he was saying that Claudius, whom she loved so much, was a wicked murderer. Don't say it anymore, Hamlet. I can't bear to hear it. So, what happened? That so what happened basically, that when Hamlet is trying to tell her, why did you fall in love with a man and this is not your age, and you should be like praying and you should be taking care of your family. Gertrude is so upset that she tells him to be quiet. And why? Because not only that she is not wanting to hear whatever Hamlet is saying, but actually she wants to ignore all those facts, because maybe although she doesn't know that who has committed the murder, but maybe she does not want to hear anything wrong about Claudius because he is her husband now. And she maybe thinks that, why should I hear anything wrong about my husband, because this would lessen my love for him. And I love him so badly that I just don't want to know anything wrong about him. Now, this is very common, children. If we love somebody, and we, like our, even our family members, like if we love our father, our mother, and our brothers and sisters, and somebody comes over and he or she is trying to tell us something wrong about them, that your brother has done this thing, or your sister has done this thing, or your mother you was shouting at somebody or anything, we say, okay, no, we don't want to hear it. We know our loved ones are always right. So this is actually how she's defending Claudius, that she's telling him, Hamlet, that I don't want to hear anything about Claudius, and you just be quiet, don't say anymore. How could you call the person I love the most in the world right now a wicked murderer? He can't be a murderer, because she trusts him so much. Suddenly Hamlet stopped speaking. His father's ghost was standing in front of him. He stared at the ghost and shouted at it, terrified. The queen could see nothing. Now she was sure that her son was mad. So basically, what happened now, that Hamlet is actually shouting and yelling, and again he's making his mother feel bad. And at that same moment, the ghost appears, and the ghost is actually very angry with Hamlet. The ghost is looking at Hamlet, and first of all, Hamlet starts shouting at it also, that why have you come, and I have this and that, and he is shouting at the ghost. In the whole thing, try to understand here that Gertrude couldn't see the ghost, because the ghost was only visible to Hamlet. And so what happens, that she gets more terrified, she gets more upset, that who is my son talking to? Is he talking to the blank walls? Is he talking to just the air out there? So that was the first gesture. She believed that he was totally mad now. He was totally insane. He was acting totally crazy right now, that he's talking to the walls, he's talking to nobody in the room, and he's shouting actually. So she was now sure that Hamlet was mad, and whatever he was talking was also wrong, because a mad person cannot be trusted. The ghost told Hamlet to leave his mother alone, as he had promised. It was angry that Hamlet had not yet killed the murderer, and urged him not to delay. Having told him this, the ghost left them alone again. So, what did the ghost say? The ghost was telling him that, why are you being so rude and so unkind to your mother, when you already promised me that you will not harm her in any way? And the person whom you should be, uh, rude towards, or the deed you were supposed to do, that is to take the revenge, you haven't taken that till now. And the ghost was actually upset with Hamlet, because the ghost was expecting Hamlet to, as soon as the ghost will tell him that, I am the ghost of King Hamlet, and I was murdered by Claudius in this way. So Hamlet would immediately go and he would kill Claudius, but Hamlet tried to find out proofs first, and then now again he is delaying when he has already found the proof. So the ghost is upset with him, because the ghost thinks that Hamlet does not have the courage to kill Claudius, and he's angry with him for this reason. And so he shouted at Hamlet that, you are not doing what you are supposed to do, and what you are not supposed to do, that is to talk rudely to your mother. This is something you are doing again and again, so stop doing this and do what I have asked you to do. And telling him this, the ghost left. Okay, it again disappeared. Hamlet turned to his worried mother. I'm only cruel to you because I want to help you. I'm really being kind, he said. Now, all of a sudden, he realizes that he's making a mistake. He is actually turning his mother against him, although his mother was not involved in all of this. And he's shouting and yelling at a woman who is actually uh, not the culprit. She's an innocent woman, and he is just shouting and yelling at her without a reason, just because this is what men do usually, that they, to show their courage and their anger, they usually drop it on women. So that's what he did. He was just shouting at his mother, although she was not the main culprit. Claudius was, but he never confronted Claudius like this. So he then went to his mother and said, "Okay, I am not being cruel to you actually for real. And if I'm talking to you in a rude and a harsh and a loud way, it is only because I want to help you. I don't want to be bad to you, okay?" And then he left. Before he left her, he begged Gertrude not to live with Claudius as his wife anymore. "Refuse all love to the man who murdered my father and stole the kingdom, and say nothing of, excuse me, excuse me, sorry, and say nothing of this to anyone." Gertrude agreed to tell no one, but she was glad that Claudius had decided to send Hamlet abroad soon. Then at least her person wouldn't be able to cause any more trouble. Perhaps he would even calm down and become his old self again. So basically, now by Hamlet, when he's leaving the room, he tells Gertrude that, okay, don't live with this man Claudius anymore because he is an evil murderer and he has murdered my father and he has stolen the kingdom. And he confesses all the truth to Gertrude. I mean, whatever the ghost has told him how he was murdered and everything, he tells everything to Gertrude that, okay, this is the way Claudius killed the king, and he's a very bad and evil murderer and you should not live with him anymore, and I suggest you that you keep distance from him because he's a very bad man. He might even try to kill you anytime. And then he also made her promise that don't tell anything like this, whatever I've told you, to Claudius. He should not get to know about this, because if he knows that you and me, we know the truth now, then he will definitely try to kill us as soon as possible. But Gertrude was so madly in love with Claudius, and she was also now sure that Hamlet was so mad because he was talking to the walls when he couldn't see the ghost, so she thought that he is talking to the walls and everything. That she didn't trust him much. Okay, she thought that he's only talking out of his madness and his craziness, and because he does not like Claudius, that's why he's blaming him for the murder. Okay, she does not trust Hamlet's words, but still she promises him that, okay, I'll not tell anything to Claudius. And then actually with her in herself, she was calm because she knew that Claudius had decided to send Hamlet abroad is somewhere away to another city or another country. So she is sure that, okay, when he will go away, he will have a change in the environment. He will be having different people around him, so that might change his attitude, his craziness, his bitterness a little bit, and he might get back to normal. He might become the old prince. So she is she promises him that, okay, I'll not tell anything to Claudius, whatever you have told me. But in her inner self, she did not trust him, and she was like, okay, fine, if he will be going away and things would be fine once he leaves, as Claudius has decided for his future that he should go abroad, because previously also Hamlet used to live in a different city and he used to study there. He was in university when his father died and he came back from there. So say now, Gertrude is thinking the same thing, that, okay, he will go away and he will have a change in his life. Claudius had decided how he would kill Hamlet. Now, at the same time, Claudius has also planned how he has to kill Hamlet, because he is now sure that Hamlet knows the truth. Okay, without losing the love of his queen and his country. He had already spoken to Hamlet and Gertrude about sending the prince to England. Polonius's death gave him a very good excuse to do this immediately. So what happened, as Claudius had decided to send Hamlet abroad, he had already spoken to Gertrude and Hamlet about it, and Hamlet agreed that, okay, he will leave for England, so that he could have a change in his environment and he could continue with his studies. And when he killed Polonius, that gave a very good reason to Claudius to do that thing immediately, to send Hamlet abroad immediately, that is on very quick basis, that, okay, you just leave, don't stay here, don't think about anything, just go away. Because Polonius's family would definitely ask for taking revenge, because he killed him without a reason. They had no enmity, he had no reason to kill Claudius. So definitely, because although it was a kingdom, but in those days, even the king was answerable for his deeds. So, or the prince was also answerable. So Claudius thought that it is better to send Hamlet away immediately. In that way, he would be able to kill Hamlet also, and Hamlet, when he would never, anybody would never know how he was killed, because Gertrude would think that okay, Claudius did it for the good of Hamlet, that he sent him away. And Hamlet has already agreed that okay, I'll go away for my future studies and for my for a change in the environment, and also because now he has killed Polonius. So he agrees that okay, I'll go away. Hamlet must go abroad, he said, to prevent Polonius's family from taking revenge on him. So basically, as I told you, that Claudius gave the reason, the main reason that he gave behind sending Hamlet abroad was previously that okay, he should have a change in his environment and he should just go away and continue his studies. But now, when Hamlet killed Polonius, he said that Hamlet should go away, because otherwise Polonius's family would ask for revenge. Okay, so he must be sent away. Claudius pretended that Hamlet was being sent to England to deal the state affairs. Okay, another reason why Claudius was sending Hamlet away was to deal with the state affairs. He was telling him that okay, you are a prince, so you should not start taking interest in the state matters. So he said that okay, we have some legal stuff that needs to be taken care of. So you just go by yourself to England and carry on the matters. But really, the king had arranged that Hamlet would be killed as soon as he arrives in England. To make sure this happened, he gave two noblemen a letter to the King of England asking him to kill the dangerous prince. The two noblemen were old friends of Hamlet, so the young prince would trust them and be happy to travel with them. So basically, Claudius made a very nice and a very smart plan here, that to Gertrude and Hamlet, it would appear that Claudius is being all nice and all good to Hamlet, but actually, for real, this plan of sending Hamlet to England was basically to kill Hamlet. He planned that Hamlet would be accompanied by two noblemen who were his old friends from university and from a school, and because they were his old friends, so they would like Hamlet would trust them, and at the same time take care of him also, that okay, fine, I have two noblemen with me who are my friends, so I should be nice and kind to them. And those two noblemen, Hamlet, Claudius will give them a letter, and in that letter he just wrote that he asked the king of England to kill Hamlet because he was a dangerous prince, he was a threat to the state, he was acting mad, and he was not being himself. And so he asked him, in the letter, that okay, as soon as the prince arrives in England, the nobleman will hand over the letter to the king of England, and the king will kill Hamlet immediately. And in this way, Claudius will not be, convicted for anything, because nobody will ask him why was Hamlet killed in England. Definitely, the King of England will never tell anybody that because he received a letter from Claudius, that's why he killed the king. So in this way, Claudius will be all saved from the murder. He will not murder Hamlet himself. He will have the King of England to do it for him. Okay. Sorry. However, Hamlet now trusted nobody, and especially not those whom Claudius had sent to travel with him. He suspected his old friends immediately. He sailed from Denmark as the king had arranged, and Claudius thought all his troubles were over. But that was far from the truth. As soon as he was alone, Hamlet searched his friend's rooms on the ship and found the letter from Claudius. He read it with little surprise. So basically, Hamlet was now very smart with Claudius. He was dealing with Claudius in a very smart and sensible manner, and he understood that Claudius cannot have any good reason to send him away. In fact, there must be something fishy, something must be wrong. So there must be some plan. And when Claudius Hamlet discovered that he was sending both of his old friends with him, he was again sure that why would he think of me and call my old friends to be my noblemen, and there was something wrong behind all this. And at the same time, Claudius was thinking that okay, now Hamlet has sailed, he's he has left Denmark, so definitely now when he will be going to England, he will be killed and all his troubles will be over. But actually, this was not the truth. This was far from the truth. Far from the truth. That is, this is what he thought will be happening, but it was far from the truth. This was actually not going to happen. Okay. And Hamlet, what did he do when he was alone? He searched his friend's rooms and found the letter. And he read it with little surprise, means that he was not surprised very much when reading the letter because he expected some kind of or other like this kind of an act from Claudius. He was sure that Claudius will do something or the other like this. So he read it with little surprise. Definitely, he was a little surprised because he did not know that Claudius would not confront him even, and he will still act like a coward and ask somebody else to kill him. That was the reason why he was a little surprised. But again, he expected all this kind of an act from Claudius. Okay, he expected this kind of a behavior from Claudius, that Claudius can do something like this. So I am indeed surrounded by enemies, he said to himself. Well, I know how to deal with my so called friends as well as how to save myself. Then he copied the letter, changing his own name with the names of the noblemen. As soon as they gave it to the king, England's king, they would be killed. Hamlet was very pleased with his work. He smiled when he finished and thought, I feel no sadness about the death of these men. These were quite happy to see me die. They were quite happy to see me die. Very important things are happening now, and they were fools to get in the way. He closed up the new letter and put it back where the old one had been. So, what did he do? He acted very cleverly here and he took the letter out. He copied the same letter and he changed his name. That is where Claudius had mentioned that he was a dangerous prince and he should be killed. He wrote that these two noblemen who were accompanying him or who were along with him were actually dangerous people and they need to be killed. And he just folded the letter and put it back at its place. And he was very happy with his work because now he has actually started doing something practically. For the first time, he was doing something practically to save himself and to uh, defeat Claudius. And he was not sad for the friends, although they were his old friends, because actually they were now the spies to the king. They were now Claudius's spies. And he thought that these people, because they would have been happy to kill me, they knew king's plan and they were still being a part of it. That means they were also part in playing a part in killing me in my murder. So why should I care for them? They get killed in their revenge to kill me. Then I should not be unhappy or sad about this. And so he decided that okay, fine, let them get killed because why are they coming into my business? Why are they involving themselves in a war that is between me and Claudius? Why did these people, get in the way? And whoever is going to come in the way, that person will have to face the consequences. And definitely, if they want to see me killed, then I would like to have them killed at the same time. And so he was happy with himself. The next day, the ship was attacked by pirates. Hamlet was the bravest fighter on the Danish ship. He jumped onto the pirates' ship and fought them alone, while his own ship escaped. So what happened the next day? Because they were going by ship, they were sailing from Denmark to England, and whatever how the Claudius planned it or how Hamlet planned it that they will reach there and they will hand over a letter. Nothing like this actually happened because what happened the next day? The ship was attacked by pirates. The pirates are the sea robbers. Okay, you all know this, I think. Pirates are the sea robbers who rob people in the sea. Okay, so they came over and they attacked the ship. And Danish ship is a ship from Denmark. Okay, the people of Denmark are Danish, so it was a Danish ship. That is, it was a ship from Denmark. Okay, Hamlet was the prince of Denmark. Remember. So Hamlet fought very bravely and he jumped on the pirate ship and he was, fighting with his sword and he jumped on the ship. What happened? His own ship escaped. That is, the people on his ship were so coward that they didn't even wait for Hamlet or they didn't even ask Hamlet to come back. When they thought that okay, Hamlet has jumped there and there is no more pirate on their ship, the ship just escaped, leaving Hamlet on the pirate ship. Hamlet was left with the pirates and was sure they would kill him. But they admired his courage, and when they found out that he was a prince, they decided to take him home. Hoping to be rewarded for their kindness, they sailed towards Denmark and let Hamlet land at the first port they came to. So basically, what happened? Hamlet was left alone to fight with the pirates. Now, see how mean and how selfish his own people were to him because they were all, being loyal to Claudius and they all were not happy with the prince. So what was happening, that they did not even care that the prince is on the another ship and they should wait for him. First of all, because he is their own, partner, he is their own man, and second, he is the prince. If it's some other country, definitely the noblemen or the people around on the ship, the lower ones, they would definitely go and fight for saving him. But these people who were on the ship were all the loyal people of Claudius, and they did not like Hamlet. And as soon as they found the opportunity that okay, Hamlet could be left alone and the pirates would definitely kill him, and there will be a very easy excuse that we were attacked by the pirates and the pirates killed Hamlet. So what did they do? That they just escaped. They just left Hamlet all alone, and they escape means to leave. Okay, to leave quietly. So they just left quietly from there, and Hamlet was left all alone on the pirate ship. But now this is Hamlet's luck, and fortunately, what happened that the pirates were very happy with his courage. They admired his courage, and they were, like, although pirates are nobodies, they are nobody's friends, they are sea robbers. But even they, being humans, had this thought that this person is so happy. He's coming all alone into our ship. He's jumping into our ship, and he is fighting alone with us. That they made friends with him, and they asked him that okay, who are you? And then he told them that I am the Prince of Denmark. And they were again, greedy that okay, what we can do is we can leave the prince on the port of Denmark, and when the king and the queen will definitely see their son being saved, they will reward us. Because pirates, they're always thinking about monies and valuables. So what did they think? They think, okay, fine, this is a better deal, rather than killing this man who's here on our ship with no goods and no jewels and nothing. This would give us nothing now. But if we leave this person back to his place, then what can happen? His parents can reward us, and we can at least get some money and some valuables in return. So they were kind to him, and they took him back to the Denmark, and landed him on the first port they came to. Okay, so students, I hope it is so far it is clear to you that what was the king's plan and how Hamlet saved himself from being killed. Okay, is it everything understood? Kindly let me know in the chat box if you people have understood it so far. I'm giving you a minute. Kindly reply me in the chat box if you have any questions regarding so far the chapter. Please let me know in the chat box if you people have understood the lesson so far. Thank you. Thank you, children. Okay, so basically now you have understood that how bad and how cunning and how clever Claudius was, that how he planned to kill Hamlet, okay, and how he did not even think once that okay, this is not the correct way. He just planned to kill Hamlet. Okay, Shahira, I've understood what you are saying. I'll mark both of yours attendance, no issue. Okay, so let's move to our questions. How many are, let's see who can answer me these questions. Okay, why did Hamlet stop shouting at his mother? All of a sudden while he was shouting, he stopped. So why did he stop shouting all of a sudden? Who's going to answer me? Okay, Abdullah, can you answer me please? Why did Hamlet all of a sudden stop shouting at Gertrude? He was shouting, 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 and then all of a sudden he stopped. So why did he stop shouting? Why did he stop shouting? Because yes, okay. The correct answer is Abdul Ahad. You are not there, but I can get answers from other children because he saw his father's ghost, and his father's ghost asked him to be quiet because he does not want him to hurt his mother because his mother is all innocent. Hamlet thinks that he has, she's a part, but actually the ghost tells him, stop shouting at your mother because She is not the culprit, and do what I have asked you to do. Okay. Okay. So can I have who can I have? Wait a minute. Roha. Roha, are you there? Can you answer me the second question? Did Hamlet tell all the truth about Claudius to Gertrude? Did he tell all the truth? Did Hamlet tell all the truth about Claudius to Gertrude? Yes, he told all the truth about Claudius to Gertrude, but she didn't trust him. He told her everything. He told her that you are living with an evil murderer, stay away from him, he might harm you, and he's not a good man. But Gertrude was so madly in love with him, and because Hamlet was acting mad and he was talking to the walls, and he was, she thought that he is all mad, he's all insane, and he could not be trusted. And so she didn't trust him, but actually, Hamlet told all the truth, okay? Thank you, Roha, for the answer. Okay, so can I have next two? Let's see. Okay, Hafsa Shehzad, are you there? Hafsa Shehzad, can you answer me the third question? What reason did Claudius give to send Hamlet to England? Hafsa Shehzad, can you answer my question, please? Okay, that's right, Maida. You're right. Okay, Fatma, you are also right. That was another reason. Yes, to talk with the England king about the state affairs. Hafsa Shehzad, are you there? Okay, Hafsa Shahzad is not here, so let's ask somebody else. Okay, so can I have Muhammad Arham Mughal? Can you answer my question, please? The third question, can you answer my question, Beta? What reason did Claudius give to send Hamlet to England? Okay, there are so many reasons that he gave. The first one was because he wanted Hamlet to deal with the state affairs. Then he told Gertrude that I'm sending Hamlet away because I want him to study abroad and so that he can have a change in his environment, and that might change his attitude and his madness might lessen a little bit. But basically, the main reason why he gave was that okay, fine, because now he has killed Polonius, and his family might come forward to take revenge or to ask for revenge. So that's why it's better for Hamlet to leave England right now, okay? So that Polonius's family does not get the opportunity to take revenge from him, okay? Okay, the next one. Okay, can I have Talha Javed? Are you there, Talha Javed? Answer me the fourth question. What was Claudius's plan to kill Hamlet? What was Claudius's plan to kill Hamlet? Hamza Mushtaba, you are going very fast, beta. We have not reached till this place so far. You are talking about something that is very, very ahead right now. Okay, we have not read this chapter, and we cannot have this answer to these questions. You're going too fast. Talha Javed, you're not there. Okay, so the answer to the third question is that what was Claudius's plan to kill Hamlet? Claudius decided that as soon as he will give a letter to Hamlet's friends, and they will be acting as noblemen to Hamlet. And in that letter, he wrote to the king of England that Hamlet was a dangerous prince and he should be killed immediately. And in this way, Hamlet would be killed by the King of England, and Claudius will not be convicted or will not be held responsible for his murder or for his killing. Okay. How did Hamlet survive the pirates' attack? Anita Shahid, are you there? Can you answer me? Anita Shahid, are you there? Anita Shahid, can you answer my question, please? How did Hamlet survive the pirates' attack? Thank you, Hamza Mushtaba. Now you are on the right place. But what you are writing, Hamza Mushtaba, do you understand all this? I think you're only copy and pasting it from somewhere because this is actually in very difficult text. I wonder if you have written all of this. Anita Shahid, are you there? Okay, good, Hamza Mushtaba, because the language you are using is very, 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 very difficult. I hope you are understanding all the meanings. It's very good if you are. I really truly appreciate it. Okay, Anita Shahid is not there, so Shahira, you have answered me. Thank you. So, how did Hamlet survive the pirates' attack? That is, he fought very bravely and he jumped on the pirates' ship and he alone faced them while his own ship escaped, and the pirates were so happy with his courage and bravery that they actually took care of him and they dropped him to the first port of Denmark, thinking that they might be rewarded for saving the prince. Okay, so I hope that it is clear so far and you people have understood the lesson today, the chapter today, and if there are any questions, any queries, then definitely you can ask me in the Google Classroom chat box, or you can ask me personally in the classroom on Monday or on Wednesday. Okay, so take care of yourself, everybody. And anything you want to ask me regarding the tests, make sure you ask me in the Google Classroom. Okay. I hope you will all prepare very well for the test. You have a test on Tuesday for English literature. The first two chapters are coming, so prepare well. Okay. Take care. Allah Hafiz.